What's up, you filthy casuals? Welcome to the Casual Shenanigans Gaming Podcast, a podcast all about the irreverent love of gaming. I am your host, Jeremiah. Tonight, I'm joined by Dave, the not-so-evil Evil Viking 13 on YouTube.
Whoa, you're the host now.
I've said that numerous times.
I'm just catching this now. I got demoted, didn't even notice.
I've been buying a few more host shares each week, and it's hostile takeover time.
It's happening.
I'm also joined by James.
What's up?
Joel.
What's up, guys?
And Gibbons.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Well, do you prefer Gibbons, Gibbs, Randy?
Gibbs works.
Gibbs.
Like my
All right,
wife
sweet.
calls me Gibbs, so.
Okay, well, I totally did not just call you Gibbons on the overlay, and that's how it's going to be for the rest of the podcast. Probably could have asked you before we went live, but
It's funny. We just did a 48-hour film festival a few months back, and the last name of the character was Gibbons. So he said, Randy Gibbons. We're like, whoa, that name.
I don't think I've ever met another Gibbons. It's kind of weird that you have two in like a 2-month period, although one of them's not real, so I guess that doesn't really count. All right, welcome to the show.
Are you real?
The Rocket League tournament. There's just one more match to play in the current tournament, and
That's
Dave,
tonight, I think.
it is tonight,
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to losing horribly tonight.
Yeah, Team America UK is going to get torn to pieces by the ball-busting buddies.
It's going to be a short stream, guys. It's going to be a real short stream.
And then November 6th, which is next Friday, we're doing another Rocket League 2v2 tournament. This one's different than the last one in that we're doing it all on one night. So Friday, November 6th from 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You need to use our Teamspeak. As always, the address is in the description of all of our podcasts. Steven, Singularity 80, he'll be sitting in Teamspeak to help you guys get into your correct lobbies and everything. He'll kind of be moderating that. And you need to send your team name of you and your fellow player into casualshenanigans@gmail.com. You can use PS4 or PC. That does not matter, but you have to be in TeamSpeak. So if you're on PS4, figure out some way to do that because Sony still hates you and won't let you use TeamSpeak instead of their god-awful voice chat. All right, and then the Fallout 4 fanfiction contest is still running because it's not November 10th yet, and this is right when Gibbons is going, what on earth is this?
Yeah, I was like, now I feel really embarrassed.
I'm not sure what I'm getting into here.
Yeah, so
Explain it, Joel.
Wait, what did we set as the deadline?
November 10th.
I mean, when are we going to read this? When are we going to have time to read this?
Ooh,
I will because I haven't pre-ordered Fallout.
that.
You're not the judge, though. I mean, it might be like 3 weeks later before we come up for air.
No, we said a winner will be picked, and Joel is going to buy them Fallout 4. But the fanfiction contest, Joel, what do they need to do?
Well, you need to write a one-page amazing story that includes me and James as the characters, as ourselves as much as possible. And if you have to include the line, why can't I carry all this loot, right?
And there's the bonus line.
Yeah, the bonus line. Were you retarded?
That James has to yell at Joel.
Yeah, that James has to yell at me. But yeah, get it in before November 10th. And we're going to judge it, and then you're going to have to wait a few days while we die from Fallout 4 asphyxiation. And then we'll read out the winners. So we'll do the
Probably read it out during streaming Fallout 4.
No, we have an idea. We're not just going to read
the
them.
winner is this person.
we're going to make it legit.
We're not just going to read them. We have a
And
plan.
I think we might do the runner-up as well, too.
Oh, we might.
So.
I want to read all the good ones, even if they don't go on the
if we have
podcast.
a lot,
Maybe
then
we'll
maybe
make a
we'll see.
casual conversation where we go through all
There
of
we
them.
go.
Because so far, the three that we have are great.
Joel and I are going to record us reading them together.
Sweet.
can't
So
wait.
you'll get our reactions as we read them.
Oh, you can do
That's
a reaction
awesome.
cam? Are we that type of douchey channel now?
No cameras.
Okay. Can the thumbnail just me be going? All right. So anyway,
So
yeah.
you can Photoshop
a chance
us
to get a
into
free
false
freaking
suits.
game on your own system. So Xbox, Fallout, or PS4, PS4 or new Steam or whatever the crap. So 3DS, NES.
You tried, Joel. That's what matters.
Professionals.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, after that shambles of a show intro, let's go straight into the main topic. Hey, Gibbons.
What's up?
All right. So you play Rocket League.
Occasionally. You know,
You're very good at Rocket League. For anyone who does not know, who has not heard of you, all your links are going to be in the description of this video. But what is your affiliation with Rocket League? What do you do with Rocket League?
So I am a player on Cosmic Aftershock. We're known as the #1 team in North America. Basically, we've won most things in North America at this point. Probably like a 90% win ratio for that. And then, just those damn Europeans are starting to beat us, but that's it. So,
That's not allowed.
yeah.
I've got an equally impressive loss record so far.
So how did you get started with Rocket League now? Because Rocket League is, you said it's the sequel you've been waiting for quite a few years.
Yes.
So what's the story there?
2008, I think October, was supersonic acrobatic rocket powered battle cars.
Can't believe they didn't slap a 2 on the end of that
I
and
know,
just go
exactly,
with it.
right? Yeah. But, so when that game came out, it had no fanfare, none of that. So I picked it up though because I saw it probably on some like gaming website. And it was, it's just cars playing soccer. I'm like, all right, that sounds cool. So I played that for probably 2 years and would create tournaments for that. But back then we had like 100 players maybe. So we did that. And then we were all just waiting for Rocket League or, Supersonic 2. So then the alpha for Rocket League came out last February. So a bunch of us from the forums got in on that. And that's where I met Kronovi and Sad Jr., my 2 teammates. And that's where we kind of were like, hey, we should team up because we're playing each other all the time and we're all really good. So why not? And that's where it started.
So Rocket League, for a lot of people, just blew up. Like, it came out of nowhere. For all of us, we were like, hey, what's this free PSN game this month? And then it turned out to be amazing and we all started playing it. But so this game is really kind of a spiritual successor to Superpowered 2.
It's almost more than spiritual. Like when you start, because I actually played supersonic acrobatic rocket powered battle cars, and so when I first played Rocket League, I was like, wait a minute, this looks really familiar. Did I play this already?
But
yeah,
like
basically the first one was just a janky version of Rocket League. Basically, they polished everything up.
Nice.
It's pretty similar.
Mm-hmm. So you and the other competitive community, you guys have been anticipating this for a while.
Yeah, like most of the good teams right now all played the first one. Not every single one, but most of them.
So most of these teams are not people who discovered Rocket League and then formed a team and started competing. It's people who are preparing for the release of Rocket League because they wanted to hit the ground running.
Yeah, well, it's more like we didn't think it was going to blow up like this. We just all loved the game, so we played it all the time. Like we were like all set on doing small tournaments again and just playing with each other, but it worked out that the game blew up because of PS Plus. I would say helped a ton. So when we heard about that news, we're like, oh crap, this might actually get big. So
yeah,
that was cool.
So what do you think it is about Rocket League that makes it? Why do you think you blew up? What's so good about it? Other than it's obviously fun, but there's a lot of games that are fun that never get to be nearly as big so fast and don't turn into big competitive games. So what does Rocket League have?
Well, like I think like back in the day, like I'd say mid-90s, like everyone loved the old baseball games. Because they were very simple. It was like you threw a ball and you could throw it left or right, and you would just swing on a parallel line. So it was very simple. Mm-hmm. But nowadays, like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't play baseball games anymore because it's just way too complicated. There's way too many controls and all that. And Rocket League basically is just there's a ball, you got to put it into the net. It's very simple to learn. And then, of course, there's a lot of advanced techniques like flying and such, but it's all skill-based. It's not like you just hit X to pass. It's more like you have to move your car to the right spot to do a pass. And most people don't even know that you can pass in Rocket League half the time. So I think it's a mixture of that it's very simple to just learn right away because cars control very well. And the goal is very simple. Just put the ball in the net. But then, like as you play and you see someone fly for the first time, you're like, holy crap, I didn't even know that was possible. And then like you're like, oh, now I want to learn that. And it just keeps going on and on from there.
Mm-hmm. So, and you're right. Like it is like it's super easy to pick up the first night when we all hopped into it. I mean, I think because everyone was so new to it, our little group, we were cleaning up. Obviously that changed pretty quickly. But, it is a type of game where like within the first match or two, it's like, oh, this makes sense. This is easy. Like this, it is super easy to learn, but really hard to master. What do you think the tipping point is? Like, do you think people who can't pass the ball to each other, like, is that the first big hurdle you need to cross or?
So I think the first big hurdle that you have to cross is, hey, there's a thing called defense and don't just go for the ball every single time.
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
Most people play that way. There's like, hey, I want to hit the ball all day. So once you learn, like, maybe I should wait for them to hit it to me, then that's your like first big hurdle. But the first big shock is always seeing someone fly. Because like, I remember we were putting out videos early and we're all flying, doing all this stuff. And everyone's just like, how do you jump so high? And like, that's like the question we get every single time, and we're like, well, it's not really jumping, but yeah, and then we try and explain it, and then they're like, oh, I can't do that. That's impossible. So,
do you guys all play on the PC or PS4, or is it a mix?
Most pros have switched to PC at this point. Some still play on PS4, but a lot of people have switched just because of the frame rate issues on PS4. So, looks
I know the biggest reason most multiplayer games aren't cross-platform is because the inherent advantages of most multiplayer games on a PC, you have a much finer degree of control with a mouse and keyboard, better frame rate, stuff like that. But Rocket League does seem like it is a game where you could be competitive on either platform if you were good at it, but you're right. The frame rate is like it's not perfect. It stays at 60 some of the time, and then it drops down to 30 a lot.
Some maps is rough.
Yeah, I'd imagine if you were trying to be competitive, nothing but 60 is going to be really acceptable. If you're competing on the level you guys are on, which is obviously way above most people in pub matches. But
plus, for PC though, like mouse keyboard is actually worse than controller, just because when you're trying to turn and stuff, you just have 0 or 1 for left turn, and you don't have the joystick to help you turn, so it's a lot harder to do aerials and all that on a keyboard.
I think all of us who play on the PC, I think we're all using controllers. I don't think anyone is trying it with mouse and keyboard. I do agree.
I've got it on the PS4 and the PC, so I do have a 360 controller for upstairs.
Although it would be interesting to do it on a Steam controller. It'd be interesting to see how it worked with that.
That would be interesting to try it.
You like shave skin off your thumb by the end.
So what does being on a Rocket League team look like? Is it, because it's just kind of starting to blow up in the esports world because it hasn't been out that long. So is it the type of thing where there's a bunch of teams, or is it a pretty small community that's competing?
So like every Sunday they have like ESL tournament that's free. So generally they get anywhere from like 120 to 200 teams in that for 3v3. So there's a ton of people trying to play. The problem is when we sign up for those, it's like 7 hours of just like, oh, these are all joke matches, and then we play like one good team or two good teams. So that's the problem with those. But it seems like a lot of people are trying to get good at it, and or they're just having fun, and they're like, yeah, let's sign up for a tournament. Maybe we'll play Cosmic Aftershock, and people just get a thrill out of playing us. And us just winning, 15-0, but they still love playing us.
So how might we try that competition? Then you can laugh at us because we'll suck.
Yeah, it's fine. There's plenty of teams that aren't that great in it, but it's all for fun.
We would like to join some competitions, even if we get our butts kicked, but just to get better. Like it's fun playing against really hard teams because it's all of a sudden, I never thought about that tactic or this. So I need to be here. Where if you play easier teams, you're not getting the balls flying here or whatever. You're not practicing that as much.
So, you're on a team. It sounds like there's no real division between people who are seriously competing and people who are just hopping in for fun to compete in a tournament now. So there's no governing body that's putting just the pro teams, just the people who are really taking it seriously into their own tournaments. You guys are still playing with regulars.
So starting this month, it was actually me and Cloud Fuel started this new pro series of tournaments kind of. So basically we do power rankings every week for North America and then Europe. Basically me and him formed 2 separate committees to do power rankings based on tournaments and such. And what we do is invite the top 10 from each region into qualifiers on Saturday, and then on Sunday, if they make it, the top 8 teams, 4 from North America, 4 from Europe, play in Rocket Royale, and we play in a double loss tournament there. So now we're doing that instead of ESL for the time being. We'll see how long we can keep that up. But so that makes it a lot more exciting for viewers to watch, and it's better for us because we get better high quality matches every single game instead of we sit there for 5 hours just having fun basically. But it's it's 6 hours every Sunday is a little rough. So it's a little better for all the pro teams there.
How much practice do you get? How much do you guys practice, and is there any method to your practice other than just playing full matches?
So for us, we don't really practice at all. We're trying to start practicing more now, but we haven't really had time to practice all that much because, one, I work just my normal 40-hour 9 to 5 a job during the day, and then we usually have conflicting schedules at night, but we've been trying to get more practice in lately. But generally, we are not a big practice team yet, but that'll come when we have to do it, I guess. But right now it's small and we're just having fun, I think. So.
And if
No.
you're playing against people on a regular enough basis, I guess that kind of does fill in as for some of your practice.
Yeah, like when you play 6 hours on Sunday, that's some practice.
What were you gonna say, Joel?
Oh, I was gonna say with the Sony keynote that happened just recently, they did announce, and I forget what the name of it. If anyone can help me out, but there was something with esports they were announcing. I think on his PS4 that you could join in there because they mentioned Rocket League before. I don't know if you've heard about this or anything like that, but I don't know if that's going to be something that might not be even within your way lower skill level. But
The PlayStation Plus League is what you're
yeah,
thinking of.
yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, to me it sounded that's kind of cool if it's like more of an official thing and you can join and it might be kind of fun. At my
I mean,
level.
it sounds like it's going to be a little official. It's going to be their competitive esports service. Presumably, they'll be streaming games on the PS4, and they're going to have Battlefield Hardline, Rocket League, Drive Club, Street Fighter V, stuff like that, with cash prizes. So,
Yeah, like I saw the leak for it before the presser, and then I haven't looked into it since. But I have to take a look. I think it's supposed to be small cash prizes, but like it would be fun for like publicity's sake if we're on like the official Sony Twitch or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Is there like the MLG? Are they? What's Rocket League with that now? Like, is that getting bigger, or is there going to be any official big matches where you can actually win some money?
So they had Puckett and Benson over there, the two shoutcasters usually do Call of Duty. They really loved Rocket League, so they kind of pushed it into like MLG they did one like MLG Pro season, and I helped them build that out because at first they were going to do just free open tournaments every Thursday, so it was going to be exactly like ESL where you play like 8 hours a day and you win not a ton of money. So we worked out a season, and it was the top 10 teams played in a season for 5 weeks. It was broken down into 2 divisions, and then there's playoffs. So that happened on October 10th, where the playoffs for the first season. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to do season 2, but Call of Duty's ramping up now, so they're probably waiting a little bit for that. But yeah, it was pretty big. It was fun.
So do you have any high hopes for Rocket League to become a much bigger esport, or do you think it will? Do you think it's going to just keep ramping up, or do you think?
So I know Psyonix is in the works. Psyonix made the game, obviously. So they're in the works of building up their esports, but I think it's taking them a little time because they're only like a 15-man group that made the game. So they're trying to like build up a little bit as they go, but. Like, I've heard from them that, we're talking about esports, but, there's lawyers and money's being thrown around, so it just takes a little while to build up. So once they get a little bit bigger into it, then we have a chance. And I'm hoping for some lands, obviously, because it'd be fun to meet everyone that I play with all the time, obviously. But, of course, we want it to go as big as possible, but... Like, I'm somewhere, like, in the middle. Like, there's a lot of people that are super optimistic and thinking, oh, it's going to be great, it's going to keep getting bigger, but I'm more of a pessimistic. Like on that side, I'm like, I'm like, yeah, right now it's big. I just hope it stays this way and hope it grows, but I don't see it going like huge, but who knows?
When the clones start coming, that's when you know it's made it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So Rocket League 2 when it goes free to play, and
there's a crappy one out on iOS. Because I was just curious. I was like, is there any like versions of I want one for the iOS. I know it's going to be hard to get the controls, but I want it.
It's called Pocket League.
I'm waiting for the Facebook version that's like rips off all the artwork and it's some hack off game.
You got to pay like $1 to get an extra 10 boost.
Yeah, right.
You're like,
do you mind if I ask you, how did you get so good? Like, is it just through playing?
Tell us your secrets, wise one.
Well, I mean, I can imagine you played a lot.
Yeah, you probably did.
But for someone who enjoys the game, like for me, I got addicted to Rocket League. I instantly loved it because I am very much a Halo fan. I've really enjoyed at least the 1, 2, and 3. When it's just the basic core set of mechanics. I don't really like a lot of this Call of Duty stuff now where you have different swap outs, loadouts, things get drop ships, bombs. I just want just guns, skill, that's it, done. Like a very like Counter-Strike. And to me, Rocket League felt like the sports Counter-Strike to me. Like it's just simple. There's no bull crap. It's just, if that person did it, well, he's got better skill than you. It's not, he's played it for 70,000 hours and he has the nuclear blast that will kill everyone. Like, I'm like, well, I'm never going to play it that much. So there's not even, why even try to play with you? But I feel like if you play enough and maybe you get good, you can play against any person with any skill, if you practice enough. But like any tips for beginners and like what you did and.
Yeah. So, so way before Rocket League or even Battle Cards, like I was like a semi-competitive, like semi-professional first-person shooter player on consoles. So like I don't know if you guys remember like Prey and those games. Mm-hmm. Like Prey, I was the #1 player in. I had like 500 free-for-all matches. I lost 2, I think. Something like that. But so like I was really good at shooters back then, and we used to win some money here and there on smaller games, sometimes Call of Duty, but we didn't go into like the big MLG stuff because it's a waste of time. It just takes way too much effort. So I was always kind of good at games anyway. And then when the first game came out, like I kind of just picked it up quickly. Like I was never like a flashy player. Like I still am nowhere near as good like in the air as Kronovi or as Cookseer and stuff like that. But I think it's just more tactical play. Like you just got to be smart about how you play. Like I knew when I teamed up with like Sad and Kronovi, they're the 2 best aerialists probably like in the game. So I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to play defense because I used to play them in the alpha all the time. And I'm like, someone needs to play defense against these guys or else they're going to score all over the field. So you kind of just need to fill that role. And once you find your role, then you just, keep working on it over and over. But it's more like Rocket League's more about positioning than anything else, I would say. And as long as you just keep working on that and being in the right place at the right time, the mechanics will come. And but yeah, it takes a while because it's just completely skill based, and it's not like any other game you've played. So it's going to take a little longer to get used to, and we've had a 6-year head start, obviously. So that helps. But
do you think Rocket League might have gotten big when it did? Was it helped by the fact that we hadn't had a Halo game yet on the current gen consoles, and it was mid-cycle between Call of Duty games, and like the big games that people look at or typically have looked at for competitiveness? I mean, obviously stuff like Dota and League doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, it's always there. But the more seasonal games, it was kind of like right in between them. Do you think that helped, or do you think this would have gotten big regardless because it's so different?
I think it definitely helped. Like it was like a mixture of like it was a summer game, so there wasn't anything out this summer basically. Yeah. And like especially like for competitive, there was absolutely nothing. So that really helped. But PS Plus just catapulted it because it made like every journalist at least try it because they need hits on their PS Plus title, so they're gonna try it and write articles about it, and then some of them fell in love with it, and because it was simple enough. Plus, like matchmaking's pretty good for the early levels, so you don't ever face the really like high flyers or anything like that. So they feel good about themselves like while they play, as long as they don't play us, obviously. So that helps, But yeah, there was just like a ton of buzz around this game. There's like a ton of articles. I think it was just a right time, right place, and it was free. So that really helped.
That really does help.
I think the very fast matchmaking and the quick games is it's very digestible. That even if you lose, you still, I don't know, like you're like, oh, like maybe I'll win next time. Like it's not as much of a it sucks. Then you got to wait for a 3-minute loading period to just die again. It is kind of like a. You win, you have fun. You lose, you still have fun.
Yeah.
Except you don't get to go to bed unless you finish on a win, Joel.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's kind of our rule.
Yeah.
So a fun part of Rocket League for a lot of people is customizing all the cars and everything. Do you guys do a lot of experimentation with that, or have you found that it's best to stick with like the most vanilla looking setup to not be distracting or something? Does that matter?
I don't think the colors necessarily matter, but most pros choose a vehicle and they stick with it because they do have minor differences. And people actually like on my YouTube get annoyed because all I use is Octane. That's it, and like I don't change it. And I always use hard hat because I'm known for my hard hat. So at this point I have to use hard hat. But but I always use Octane, and like people get annoyed. But for the most part, every pro picks a car. Sometimes they'll go through transition periods like, I'm not feeling this car this week for some reason. They'll switch it up and try it out. But for the most part, every single pro uses the same car. Usually there's like 4 or 5 different ones that pros like, and they choose it off that. But colors usually don't matter. Like I don't like to mix blue and orange because it'll just confuse myself. Like with the decal color being blue while I'm on orange, that would just confuse me, I think. So I usually just stick with like a black as a decal or white.
I think that's probably the best thing they did is not make it about getting upgrades for the purpose of getting necessarily better.
Oh yeah.
Like they could have easily made this a pay to win game where you have to either play a lot or buy upgrades. Yeah, but I love that it's really cosmetic, and it makes it fun when you get the upgrade more so than, oh man, I've got to get the upgrade, even be halfway competitive. So I think that was a great decision on their part.
For people just looking to get into it, do you think it's best for people to try to find one role and stick to it if they want to get really good at the game, not just like play for fun? Or do you think it's worth trying to be good at a couple different roles? Like, is there a real advantage to that? Or do you think most teams are looking for people to be really awesome at one thing?
No, like for the really good teams, everyone's good at like every single role because usually it's more rotational. So like usually like I'm on defense, but if someone needs boost, then I transition up to offense and so I can still perform at that role, just not at the same level as Crone said, but pretty close. So for the most part, when you're starting out, because like you'll probably be playing a lot of solo queue threes, you want to be playing defense just because everyone wants to hit the ball over and over again. So generally, you want to play defense anyway. But like as you get higher and higher up, then you'll want to be working on your offensive game and getting your shots down. But generally, yeah, like you want to learn everything. That's the only way to really play the game. Some teams do just stick with, all right, he's in net and that's all he does. But that doesn't work at the top tier. So.
And when you guys are doing your tournaments and you're playing like against complete scrubs, do you guys have fun with them and toy with them because you have a couple hours to go through it, or do you just try to beat them as hard as possible? Like, since it sounds like that's not great so far, as far as pitting you against people at your skill level. What do you guys do?
Well, yeah, it depends. Like the closer we get to like games that are going to matter, we probably go a little harder and just keep scoring over and over because that's like the best practice that we can get is our shots. But usually we screw around a lot. We'll do like turtle goals, which are like lying on your back on the ground and boosting. Or Crow and Sad will just do weird aerials in the air and try and pass back and forth in the air and stuff like that. But yeah, we definitely fool around a lot when it's not a serious match, for sure.
And this may not be some question you have the answer to, but this has always concerned me. I mentioned earlier, like I really don't like the PS4 voice chat. I think it's super low quality.
Yeah.
I think it's a terrible service. Do you think, like, do you guys use TeamSpeak or Mumble or something on the PC?
Yeah, we usually use, right now, we want to use TeamSpeak, but sad for some reason his computer is acting up with it. So we change it up, Curse Voice or Skype or, but yeah.
Do you know anybody who successfully does an esport on PS4 using their voice chat, or do people figure out workarounds?
I think some of them might use PS4 chat, but I'm not positive, but like the top tier, probably like the top 8 in the world. I think pretty much everyone's on PC, but like some of the Europe teams don't even talk; they just play. Like one of them, he's Italian and like English is his second language, and it's like hard for him to focus on speaking English while he plays. So he just doesn't talk, but he's known to be like the best in the world or second best in the world.
Jeez.
So.
I never thought of that. I guess
I can understand what everyone's saying.
Yeah, because it's more like car language, I guess. Like you can tell where the ball's going to get hit. So
right.
So as long as you can read it like correctly, then you're okay.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Like in a soccer match, they're not talking to each other like across the whole field. Like everyone has,
Yeah, exactly.
They have to kind of be able to pay attention and see what's going on. So that kind of makes sense. Man SB in chat asked, "What are your thoughts on the hockey mutator game mode or the mutator pack that's been announced?"
Yeah, so that came out yesterday. The whole trailer for it. Like I didn't get to watch the live feed today because I was leaving work and all that, but it should be fun, but like we played mutators in the alpha. We used like cue ball and infinite boost and all that because we were testing them. And it was usually like, oh, you play one game and then it's like, oh, that was fun. But for us, at least at the top tier, like we don't want to screw around with physics and stuff like changes because that's going to screw us up. So I don't see us using it that often besides for like viewer games or like on Twitch, but for the more like casual players, like it's awesome because like you see like even like our hockey, like the subreddit for hockey, like it was like 2,800 upvotes for the hockey mode, and I was like, that's perfect. Like that's what you want, just more people coming in and wanting to play the game for fun. That's great.
I mean, is that you guys' hope for Rocket League? Is it continue? I know you're a little bit more pessimistic than some of the people in your group, but do you want it just to keep growing and become something on the scale of Halo for esports? Or
oh yeah, of course. Like we want it to grow as big as possible. Like even when we made our team, we were like, we want to build up the North America scene because we were the early favorites. We're like, we want to help the other North American teams get better because the first game was mostly Europeans, so they have like an edge there on us. But yeah, we wanted to see it grow as much as possible, because then that helps us obviously too. More lands or just more people watching us, obviously, so that helps.
Well, and esports are still very much in their infancy. Like video games haven't even been around that long in the grand scheme of things, and then esports especially are just now in the past 5 or 6 years are starting to be taken seriously by people other than hardcore gamers. So, I mean, do you hope one day like ESPN is showing Rocket League matches or something like that, or do you want it to be something that's more just on the internet?
Like, it would be awesome if it was on ESPN. Like, bigger the better. Let's bring it to the Olympics. Let's go. But yeah, like we just want it as big as possible, of course. Yeah, like it's very easy to watch.
Rocket League is definitely one of the first video games I've ever I wouldn't mind watching random people I don't know compete, because it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, because like I watch like League of Legends, but it's because I play it. I'm like, if you didn't play League of Legends, you have no idea what's going on. Like I can't even watch Dota because I'm like, I don't even know what the hell's going on in that when I play League of Legends. But like this, it's just like, all right, the ball has to go in the goal. Everyone knows it. Oh, he's flying. Oh, that's awesome. What a shot, It's just like a normal sport.
And it's a little easier to follow than Counter-Strike. When you watch professional Counter-Strike players, all you see is like, there's a tiny little twitch on screen, and someone's like, he got him with the last play. Like, where? What happened?
Like, and then like you can see through walls through spectator, and then people probably like, can he see through walls? Like, I don't know how this works.
Yeah. But I noticed on your YouTube channel, you commentate games. Are you looking to get into shoutcasting, or do you like just doing analysis on the games you're involved with to help people get better, or is like another direction?
So I do like play-by-play as I play of like how I position and stuff, because I'm known as more of a positional player. So it's more of just to help people in solo threes and such like that. Like, I don't really have any interest in going into shoutcasting too much. Like, I might do it for fun once in a while, be like an analyst or something for, because like I know a bunch of the shoutcasters, like we help pick them out for like Rocket Royale and stuff like that. But so that'd be fun to do once in a while on like a qualifier day or something. But that's not something I'm too interested in. I'd rather play or even just manage a team, like if it came down to it. But.
Cool. Well,
would you ever consider doing a 3v1 match? Have you guys already mentioned that?
No.
I was gonna mention to Jeremy. I was like, I don't know if I should or not, but I was like, that only if you'd ever be up for that. That would be really fun. You versus us four.
Do it. We can do it right after this, as long as I don't have a scrim. We were supposed to, but I don't know if it got canceled or not. So
all right, shoot, we'll end the podcast early just for the chance for you to completely destroy us,
and then he'll end the game quickly.
Yeah, but thank you for coming out and talking to us about Rocket League.
Yeah, really, of course. Thanks for having me. So.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time, man.
And it's now time for the news.
News time!
Gibbs, do you play any other games other than stuff you're playing competitively? Like, do you play games on a more casual basis, AAAs and stuff like that? Or is Rocket League...
like I keep my ear to the ground on all, like, game news. I listen to a ton of different gaming podcasts. Sorry, not you guys.
That's how dare you?
Like
how dare you? Yeah.
You're not the first to say that.
But, yeah, so, like, lately I've been playing mostly Rocket League, but, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Then hopefully this won't be like too boring. So Arkham Knight, everyone knows it was a horrible broken mess when it came out. So bad on the PC that they pulled it off shelves. It worked great on PS4 for the most part, PS4 and Xbox. So they pulled it off shelves for the PC. They've been working on it for the past couple months, and then they announced, hey, it's coming back out October 28th. It'll be for sale again. As a present, we're going to give you guys all the previous Arkham games, like... Thank you guys for sticking with us. You guys are awesome. Awesome. Patch came out yesterday. Game is still broken. Game is horribly broken.
Worse for some people.
Yeah, worse for some people.
When you play the game, does it constantly say your drivers are out?
No.
Every time I boot the game, it says your drivers are like old, and I'm like, I check it. Nope. No, they're the update on NVIDIA.
Huh. Yeah, so I booted up on the Potato Masher because it's one of the most requested games people have wanted us to test. And not to spoil anything, it does not work great right now. But to be fair, it also does not work great on my computer and the computers of most of the people commenting on all the threads on Reddit. It looks like if you have 16 gigs of memory, you might be okay. But everybody else is having huge stuttering issues. And Warner Brothers, like they said, this is the big patch. It's fixed. Although, just to be, just to be open about it, if you have Windows 10, you probably should have 12 gigs of memory at least. And if you're on Windows 7, there's a weird GPU paging issue with your hard drive, so mechanical hard drives are kind of bad. Also, no SLI support. Also, no Crossfire support. And we can't give you all those other free Arkham games free now. Those are coming sometime before December.
And make sure the planets are aligned.
Yeah, it was, I can't be too mad because I got mine through an NVIDIA code. So I've already gotten the Metal Gear Solid 5 as a replacement for it. So I can't be too mad. I was compensated. But for anyone who bought this game, if this doesn't teach you anything else, don't pre-order games. This is not like the examples Dave was giving last week. This isn't CD Projekt Red. Every single Arkham game, like the past 3 at least, have been broken in some form or fashion at launch. So when they announce Arkham Knight 2 and everyone's just creaming themselves with excitement, don't pre-order it. Wait until it releases, see if it works, and then buy it. And if you want to play it now, just get it on the PS4 or the Xbox because it works great. But
I wanted to point out, too, Jeremiah, someone on Reddit noticed this, because this relaunch was treated on Steam as kind of like when a game goes from early access to launch. All of those negative reviews are now shoved to the side and labeled as pre-release reviews on Steam. So they don't count anymore. And the game is $60 again, which at this point, what has it been, 5 months now? It would be on sale for Halloween by now, normally. But no, it's $60. All those reviews are gone.
I think the internet justice is still going to work here. I think that score is going to get cratered pretty quickly, and I think people are still going to buy it because I have no idea why. There were people on the Reddit today going, it runs pretty well for me. I played it for 20 minutes. It seemed okay, so I spent $40 on the season pass. Like a fool in their money. But
that's a good price if you want the whole collection.
Good point. Yeah, you'll get 3 or 4 games that work pretty well. But yeah, this is really just one of those things. Vote with your wallets. If you don't want stuff like this to happen, do not buy games that are broken. The developer, once they have your money, even if they want to fix it, because there's a lot of great people who work there who want the game to be good. It's not like it's just some big conspiracy where they're all trying to take your money. But the game was horribly rushed out. The PC version was not prioritized. It has not been handled properly. Don't give them your money. Vote with your wallet. If you want games to work, if you want the games industry that you feel you deserve, have a little bit of a spine next time they announce one of these games. Not that Rocksteady are bad people. They made a great game, but support it on the platforms where it works, or support games that work. Don't support games that don't.
Yeah, like Halo 5, for instance, like the Master Chief Collection.
Oh,
what a mess. So for Halo 5, luckily it is working, but it's guys, just wait a day. Yeah. Make sure it's working, and then go out and buy it if you want it. But
it's kind of crazy to get any multiplayer game on day one, because even if the game works fine, the servers are going to be crushed.
The servers aren't going to work.
Yeah, Rocket League was first week. It was no, not going to work.
I am happy to see, I decided to check Steam real quick. Batman is not on the top sellers list for Steam at all. It's not even there. So people are listening and watching this time.
A little bit. We'll see.
Well, there is a Steam sale going on, so I guess it could be that too.
I bet if they dropped the price to $20, which is $10 more than the game's probably worth in its current state, I bet it would skyrocket to the top of the list because people want to play Batman. But Joel, if people played Batman on the PS4, they have joined the 29 million other people who own PS4s. Tell us about that.
It's kind of I don't know. I just thought it was kind of awesome. Golly, that's a lot of PS4s. And I'm glad they're doing well. I'm really glad they're doing well because, as you guys all know, I do enjoy consoles. And it's definitely the year leading up to the PS4 release, it was kind of nerve-wracking going, is this going to be the last system where it's is it going to be a little box where they just stream online and then it's going to be a kind of a crappy experience? And are they moving away from a dedicated, thing? Which I always hope they didn't, because I'm PCs are dedicated. People are not moving to just a little tiny little box and they just stream it from somewhere else, And not everyone wants Chromebooks.
Joel, imagine trying to edit a video over a streamed connection.
Yeah. I'm sure that's going to happen one of these days. Yeah. But not anytime
soon.
Imagine
the first iteration of that, though.
Yeah, and just from looking at even how the 360, how the UI changed from games to marketplace to then Windows advertisements. To me, I was I really was sad that honestly, as much as I love graphics, I would have been fine with the 360 for longer if it just plays just games. Like, don't give me all this crap and the DLC. Like, if that was just like its own little world dedicated to just gaming, I like that. Like, I want to, when it's my gaming time, I want to go into the gaming room and play games on my gaming machine. You know, that's how it is. But so I was like, holy crap, 29 million, and it's still outpacing the PS2, which is the best-selling console of all time. Well, it's getting close to not being. Or I think it, or I can't remember if it's outsold it, or it's outselling so
right,
far.
No, the
yeah,
PS2
Yeah,
ended
instead
up-
of outpacing.
Okay,
Yeah,
how many PS2s? Is it almost like 100
Too
million?
many.
like
Yeah,
100,
more than
I
that,
think it was 150 million
Yeah,
over
something like
lifetime.
that. But I was like, that's pretty awesome though. So it's doing really well. And that, for me, that's I think it's a good sign, because I think consoles do a really good job at pushing the game market in different ways that the PC does. So I think if they can work together, it can be a harmonious thing, because having dedicated hardware sometimes pushes you in a different way to be creative. Having no limits pushes games another way. So
Also,
Kumbaya.
this is really a gaming podcast, but I just feel the need to point out, just Samsung Android phones outsold Apple 2-1 this quarter. So, Android master race. All right, moving on. James, what you got?
So I was having a kind of a, just a blah day until until I saw that they're going to start selling Nuka-Cola Quantum in Target.
Pretend like
it won't be
someone
$100.
doesn't care as much as you. What is that?
Well, if you've ever played Fallout, you're a human being. You're good. No, it's one of the different. There's two different sodas in the game. There's a regular Nuka-Cola, and then there's a little bit more special Nuka-Cola Quantum, which was kind of their experimental version, which was like glowing blue. And so, Joe, what flavor was it, Dave?
Do we actually know what flavor it was?
Yeah, it was
I don't
like
know,
it
it
was
was
some
Jones. It
berry
was like
lemonade. It was some berry lemonade flavor. Yeah.
Anyway, so it's
Yeah.
Jones soda, which is good. So
yeah,
it's
they
not going
make great sodas.
but being sold in Target, like most of the merchandise Bethesda's been pushing it's got. I mean, it's funny. Like when we did our merchandising podcast, talking about Bethesda's going to release merchandise for this game, and now it's like, holy crap! Are they still releasing merchandise? Are they going to stop?
I
Yeah,
think
James,
someone,
I subscribe to their like newsletter for the Bethesda store.
How many
and
emails? So do I. I get like an email a day almost.
Well, they actually did a thing where for the last either 2 or 3 weeks, they were announcing a new Fallout merchandise product per day, like a new collection of something a day.
Yeah,
T-shirts, bags, bobbleheads, record sets, like every day something new.
I mean, there's some great stuff on there, but you're going to empty your wallet on pretty much anything you get. But I think this is going to be something that's going to be pretty awesome, at least for fans. But I could see someone going in the store and like, what's this? I'll buy it. It's Jones. I mean, it can't be much different than having like cereals that have Star Wars on the cover. I mean, it may be a limited time thing where it's that color or whatever, but they'll probably keep the flavor. Mm-hmm. So that made my day.
all right, great. So moving on. Paris Games Week was recent, and Sony actually did a pretty big press conference at Paris Games Week. I was not expecting the number of
But nobody
announcements they
knew it
made.
was happening.
Yeah,
It's
so
still a podcast.
I knew
me.
it was happening. I didn't know it was happening that day. I'd forgotten. So good job, James. Yes, you reminded us. But we're just going to skip through some of the major news. You guys let me know if you want to talk about any of it. But Tekken 7 confirmed for the PS4. Sure, cool. I played Tekken
With
like
VR
10 years
support.
ago. We'll see how good that is. Okay, they showed off Horizon Zero Dawn, some gameplay footage of some of the creatures and fighting and everything. That game still looks really awesome. I want to see more than just, they've only showed this one little area, which means obviously they're still, that's their vertical slice they're showing off. But I'm curious to see other areas, other things. They make it sound like it's a really big world with a lot of cool RPG elements, so that's pretty cool. They showed off Uncharted 4's multiplayer. Looks pretty much like Uncharted multiplayer, which to say is it looks fun if you like cover-based third-person shooting games.
Yeah, but now they added in all those mystical elements into the multiplayer, which don't know how I feel about that, but
Yeah, it's like match changing things that are.
Lots of magic and weird stuff going on, but
I'm assuming that ties into there's always some supernatural element to Uncharted games, so I'm assuming it has something to do with that. But they also announced Drive Club Bikes, which launched the same day as an expansion or a standalone. It's Drive Club with motorcycles. So if you really like Drive Club, you can play that. Boundless.
Awkward pause.
Well, I have a lot of thoughts about Drive Club, but that's fine. They announced Boundless, which kind of looks like Minecraft. It's a slightly prettier Minecraft. Did you guys see that? Like, it looks like a building game in the same pixel blocky style. You and your friends crafting things, building houses, questing. Very, very similar.
I like it.
I mean, it looks like it could be cool, but it looks...
I have a boy, so I'll buy it.
Oh, so your girl, she wouldn't like that?
I'll buy it for him, but then she'll play it too.
And get better.
She's not old enough for me to buy games for her yet.
Oh, okay. So you won't be getting her Street Fighter V in February? Because that was also announced. No, the release date was confirmed for February. I don't really play Street Fighter, so I don't really care. But for people who are excited for it, I'm sure that's exciting. Then they showed off Wild, which is another PS4 exclusive. You can possess eagles and bears and stuff.
This is like the first thing. I just love to be at the keynote, guys. Hey guys, new game called Wild. Possess eagles. That's it. Walks off stage.
Yeah. Did anyone else think this game didn't look very good?
I didn't like it at all. Like,
the world looked totally barren and empty, and
it looked kind of like early 2000s RPG. Like, it looked like early World of Warcraft world decoration.
yeah.
well, I saw the character start to shift. I was like, oh, this looks cool. What is this? And then it started showing the game.
yeah, like it just seemed like a small team that wanted to do something huge, and it's like, wait a minute, we can't do all that. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a little bit janky. Probably.
We're just going to settle for possessing birds and attacking the tribes.
6 months from now, it's just gonna be a small like 8v8 PvP PvP game. It's just like what? It's just eagles attacking each other. Although that would be kind of awesome.
Yeah, I was saying actually that could be kind of cool. Competitive eagle fighting game. What's that one where you play rabbits?
Yeah,
rabbits that fight each other. What's the name of that game? Does anyone else know what I'm talking about? Like you play hares, like
Something?
I do know what you're talking about.
overgrown. Yeah, you play rabbits that can like kill each other in very brutal ways. So that was pretty cool. Gran Turismo Sport was announced. It's not Gran Turismo 7, but they say it's bigger than Gran Turismo Prologue, and they'll be doing betas next year. Okay, I love Gran Turismo, but there have been 3 Forza games on the Xbox One. 2 of them have been fantastic, and we still don't know when the cut down early version of the next Gran Turismo is going into beta yet. Like that, it's going to be like 2/3.
Gran Turismo 6 or whatever the last one was, an HD remake of it on PS4 right now.
I mean, it was technically in HD on PS. Oh, you just
I
a
don't know,
brushed
whatever.
up
Like it's just a 60 FPS.
Enhanced.
No.
The definitive.
No, because Forza 6 is better.
Oh.
I mean, the new console generation, more powerful hardware. I mean, Project Cars is a better simulation than any of them, but the number of cars, the number of tracks, everything like that, Forza 6 is great. The thing is, if you want to get really serious about racing games, you kind of have to pick a side. And I've been kind of waiting to see what they're going to announce because I've been a Gran Turismo diehard most of my life, but if once I buy a wheel, I'm kind of committed because I'm not getting a $1,500 Fanatec set up so I can play on both consoles. So if I get an Xbox One and PC wheel, that's it. I'm with Forza. So that's kind of the direction I'm leaning because they're actually putting out games. So good games. Then Quantic Dream announced their new game, Detroit, Become Human, or Totally Not Deus Ex. What did you guys think of this? I mean, it's a Quantic Dream game, so obviously people are excited.
I have faith.
Okay.
It sounds like a really cool premise.
Yeah, I didn't play the last one they did, but for some reason I just wasn't really that excited for it. Like, I don't know. I really like the melancholy feel of Heavy Rain a lot more. But this one, I mean, I love robots, AI kind of stuff. So this one seems cool. And visuals are going to be nuts. So I do hope the game gets a decent review. And yeah, I think I'll be playing.
Cool. Until Dawn, which is kind of a survival horror game. It's hard to describe it. It's a little more campy than that, but it's totally not a on-rails first-person shooter, which is what the new Until Dawn thing they're coming out for PlayStation VR. It's like an on-rails shooter version of Until Dawn that will be coming out just for PlayStation VR, which doesn't really make sense. I think it's just they're trying to show off VR as much as they can. Now, the game engine is the same engine I believe that's used for Killzone Shadowfall, so it's not like it can't do first-person shooting stuff, but it seems like a little bit of a weird thing. And then Rigs, Mechanized Combat, or Mechanized Combat League. I thought Rigs looked really cool. We've seen it before, but we saw more of it today, or earlier this week. What'd you guys think?
I don't know.
Yeah, the game mode I'm not sure about. It looked
Well, you do a lot more competitive stuff than we do. What do you think of it from competition point of view?
So I was watching it like a little bit at work, so I didn't catch every single bit, but one, they could have showed the game a lot more than they did because all they kept showing was the VR faces with the hologram in front of it or whatever. So it was a little hard to see what the map even looked like because they just kept cutting back and forth. So what I could tell was I think there's a ball, and they have to jump through the circle in the middle to get a goal, I guess. Or there's a runner. I'm not sure how that works. But it looked okay. But like I see it as like a VR test for future shooter-type games. But I see it as more of like a tech demo-y type game. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal when it comes out. But who knows?
I feel like the graphics they showed for the VR looked all very similar. They showed Battlezone, which is historically based on very blocky graphics, but I'm hoping VR doesn't become just this like almost cel-shaded looking game genre.
Well, for PS4 it probably will have to be because there's not a lot of power in the PS4. Like for the PC, for the Oculus, like you need like heavy stuff in your PC for that to work. So I just don't know if the PS4 can handle all that.
That's kind of the biggest thing I'm wondering about because what they said, like the high frame rates you need to make it work. I'm guessing we're going to see PS3 looking games in VR, which would still be cool. The PS3 had some great looking games, and if the experience is good, the experience is good. But
do you think it'll be even that? Do you think it'll even be that high quality?
I don't know. I'm nervous. I don't want to just sound like I'm picking on the PS4, but
I think it's going to be games that look like Elder Scrolls Online. If you play it on PC or even on PS4, I think it looks good, but it's one of those things where it is stripped down, like it doesn't look as good as Skyrim.
It doesn't look as good as Oblivion either.
No, it looks better.
I'd say it's better than Oblivion.
It's got a little more polish.
The aesthetic in it works really well, even though things are low poly because it's a trillion people playing and it's a massive world. But here's something really interesting. I meant to add this in my news and I totally forgot. I saw it a couple days ago. Back when the PlayStation Move was getting ready to come out at E3, they had only 36 developers and publishers that were supporting it. There are over 200 developers that are working on PlayStation VR titles. So that's, I think, good news.
It's better. It's better than Move, but Move was a horrible failure, so it needs to be quite a bit better.
Yeah, I know. But
we're all working on just one game, though.
So far, all the buzz around PS4 and the reviews, even like I was listening to the PlayStation guys or the XO guys, forget his name. IGN people, Beyond.
Oh yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
Miller.
Yeah, they're very excited about
it.
They got to try it out, and they're like, it worked really well. So there's every article I've read about it, it's like, this is really good. This is really awesome. So I hope it actually is. So, but that's exciting. Like, that's a lot of developers, I think, this early.
Yeah, that's more than I thought it would
I was
be.
expecting, honestly, maybe like 30.
Yeah, I'm just worried about
30 different studios.
Super small games because, like, I feel like most of the games are going to be very narrow because they can't use a lot of resources. So a lot of them are going to be more enclosed environments and just smaller games because they can't handle as much.
Well,
so
yeah,
that's what I'm worried about too.
It's like taking like the AAA games and then making them mobile. Like, yeah, you have the same characters, you have the same environments, but then they strip away everything that makes the game really good, and you're stuck with like this really limited version of what you really wanted to play.
But
for
VR, you don't need good graphics to have a VR immersive experience. You don't.
We'll see.
I'm saying as long as the frame rate's good, you don't need good graphics. Like you just don't need them. Like Dave was like a good example. Dave played Alien Isolation on the lowest settings. He had no idea.
But as an artist, but as an
screen door over my face with the Oculus.
Yeah, I mean the resolution on the Oculus is still pretty low, but I'm saying like it just needs to track really well, and I think the game just needs to be really well.
But I can imagine as an artist though, you don't want to make games that are just that will run on this set. You want to push the hardware.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
you
a good point,
you want to
James.
be like an Ethan Carter type game where you like when people play your game like, holy crap, who designed that?
Well, of course, but they're also trying to make money, and they're going to go for the system or the platform that is going to support it the most. So yeah, you could make it for a $2,000 PC that's absolutely, I mean, mind-blowing, which I would love to have that experience too. But if you only have one developer doing that with their $1,000 full rig setup that's immersive, but oh yay, one game, you know. So I think it needs to go to whoever is most successful. They're going to go to that.
Just remember that the Wii had a lot of third-party support.
I know.
At the same time, with Nintendo, like Nintendo knows how to make games with not a lot of power behind them. So if some developers can get in there, like we are going to see a ton of cell shaded stuff and a ton of on rail stuff probably at first for VR. But like I would love to walk through a cell shaded world like with VR on, because like you want it to be realistic, but if you're in that world anyway, it's going to feel realistic. I think with the VR headset on, like as long as the artistic approach is done correctly. Like, you know, there are some games that just look bad, but then you go to like Super Mario World, like 3D World looks amazing, and that doesn't take a lot of power. So
Yeah, as
I'm
long
more
as
excited to walk that tightrope than anything.
as long as it's a good, solid art style, I think the actual visual fidelity won't matter as much. I mean, I think it's if developers are clever with it. But the thing is, Joel, they have to. Like they're going to have to be able to do full games, not handicapping it a lot, because if you have to make a special version of your game just for VR, that's where the developer support's going to die. Like if you have to come up with a lot of extra work to make a version of the game that works well in VR, it needs to be you have your game and then maybe you put on VR, it kicks down to lower graphic settings or something, that's fine, but it needs to be able to switch over fairly easily or people won't support it, because that's what happened with the Move.
I do hope they add like a cross-buy thing. Like there's rumors that No Man's Sky, like they're hoping to prep it for VR so when it launches. I mean, that would be a massive game, I think, to sell with VR. Like, you know, like it comes with it bundled, bam, you know, you put it on it. You know, that would be, I think that would be a game, like
that'd be a good one.
You know?
I don't want it to go the route of the Wii. I don't want it to be...
No.
We're already making the game for all the other systems, so we'll make a Wii version and we'll just make a different control scheme and the control.
Instead of pressing the X button, you can waggle the stick back and forth because it's got move controls or whatever. Like, you don't want it to be like that.
I would never want to be an
afterthought.
afterthought.
It's gonna be really hard.
Sorry, what?
Well,
like
what's the price of the console?
You're saying selling them is going to be hard?
As opposed to a $500 one on PC. I mean, I don't think like the price is going to be hard no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the PS4 has a better system, like not graphics wise, but it has a better ecosystem for a chance of doing well, because it has a dedicated controller system. Where on PC you don't have a dedicated controller. You have this, so either everyone's going to have to buy the Oculus One. Like their new controller looks really cool. That looks awesome. But if not enough people buy it, there won't not going to be a lot of developers using that specific device. But yeah, here's one of the problems on Oculus Rift right now is people can't wear the headset for very long because it's just not comfortable enough. You get really sweaty, your eyes get sweaty, and then like it fogs up.
Dev versions months ago. Be fair.
Yes. No, well, the ones still now are not that great either. So once they show the new ones, I mean, I hope it is. I hope they really improve that. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, well, you can't make long games if you can't wear the headset for very long. So I imagine a few years from now, that's not going to be the problem.
My heart is still behind HoloLens. That's all.
That's going to be cool, but that's not going to be going into the world. I think that's going to be cool bringing stuff into your world, but I want both.
Look, I'd probably pay several $100s just to have the Minecraft experience they showed us on stage at E3.
That's true.
I don't really care what world I'm going into. If I can do that, I'm excited. If I could play Age of Empires, if I could play Age of Empires,
sandbox.
Exactly.
Okay, check this out. HoloLens, Rocket League on your table, like you're sitting there at the table, like by the arena. That would be awesome.
So it's like actual remote control cars you're looking at. Like,
Dave, imagine using HoloLens with like a bamboo pen to actually be able to like draw the routes and stuff like that for your armies. So like when you're building your your worlds.
Or City Skylines.
So basically what we're saying is this could be cool for basically everything.
Everything can be enjoyed.
If it looks anything. Now remember, Project Natal looked really amazing too, and then the Kinect came out and everyone was like, oh, it's like a webcam that can't tell where I am.
Me and James played the Kinect ping pong, and your me character or whatever it was, like would kind of connect to your body, so we would like dance around really far.
Your legs are like going like this the whole time.
All right, it's now time for the mail.
Mail time.
You can write into this show, casualshenanigans@gmail.com. Just like a weird stranger, she's back with another email this week. This is like 4 weeks in a row.
Not them again.
I know. She says, you can write in to be a part of the show at blah, blah, blah. These are your words. You keep bringing this upon yourself. I was just about to stop writing in because I felt bad for your other 3 listeners. They probably don't want to hear from a weird stranger every week. But then I remembered then I remembered your words and it dawned on me. They need my help. You guys are too proud to just come right out and ask for help. But don't worry, I cracked the code. This is the please help us fill more time on the podcast with your nonsense code. I won't let you down. P.S. I can't help but wonder how long it will take before you start ignoring my emails. I would understand, really. Not this week, Cynthia. Send another. All right. And then Forrest wrote in and said, hey, guys, I discovered your podcast a couple weeks ago, and I absolutely love it. Thanks, Forrest. I work as a delivery driver, and I've done nothing but listen to your show at work. I've listened to more than 50 episodes. Dang. I'd only listened to the audio versions till a couple days ago, and I have to say that you guys look nothing like what I pictured in my head. Hopefully that's good. But that doesn't matter at all.
I look like I'm like 65 because you guys talk about how old I am all the time.
But that doesn't matter at all. It was just really weird at first. I really admire all of your work. I started a YouTube channel a few months ago, and I have a new appreciation for people who do stuff like that. And Joel, I just watched your Norman trailer, and it looks amazing. I'm excited to see it someday. Someday. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Stay casual.
So am I, and I'm the producer.
Yeah, I want to see it too. I was in it as 2 different people.
I'm one of the visual artists. It's possibly my fault.
Yeah, it's now time for 90 Seconds with Joel, part of the podcast where Joel talks about whatever he wants.
Is this a secret this week, Joel? You're not in the doc.
The secret is I didn't add anything.
It's now time for What Are You Playing This Week, a part of the show where we talk about what we're playing right now.
The quickest and the only 90 seconds with Joel. That'll be quick.
Gibbs, you can go first. So obviously we didn't prep you about this segment at all, so we'll be dicks. You can go first.
That's fine. Well, actually, I was on a cruise last week with the wife, so I haven't played anything really. And then I came
Playing
back.
shuffleboard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some ping pong, some shuffleboard.
Playing Eat Too Much, Shuffleboard,
Exactly.
and can I fit all this
Naps.
alcohol in my body?
So we're doing that, and then of course I just came back on Tuesday, so I had to get back on the Rocket League grind. But I do have a piece of news for you guys. Actually.
Okay, all right.
So there's a rumor going on. Someone tweeted out the PS Plus games for PS4 for November. We got Walking Dead Season 2 and Magicka 2.
I just paid for Walking Dead.
Yeah, it was from some.
I've been waiting to get it.
Wait, just season 2 though, not season 1.
Yeah, Season 2. Like I think they did Season 1 a while ago.
Oh, they did. Okay,
Yeah, they did do it. Yeah, it was a long time.
Magicka 2, that's a pretty good one though.
Yeah,
I feel like
That is.
people like those games.
PS4 is almost 2 years old. It's about time for us to start getting like some of the early AAA games. I think it's about time for some of them to start hitting.
I really hope to see 1886, that one game. On
Yeah,
The order, yeah.
yeah.
I feel like that could actually help them out in a way.
It'll take longer to download than to play.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Knack. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
Knack. Oh,
because
yeah.
Everyone, like, no one cares about Knack, so they'll throw that in there at some point. But,
Yeah.
like Knack and Killzone probably be the first two. I would
They'll
say.
throw in Battlefield 4 right before the servers shut down.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead, pile it into the ground, guys. Go for it. Blaze of glory.
But like actually, like I'm gonna try Need for Speed this week because I have EA access, so I gotta try that before it's out and see how that is. But
I'll try to
hopefully it's good.
I'll try to not drool when I tweet at you a bunch. I'm ridiculously excited for this game. I'm very very curious to hear what you think about it.
Yeah, like I'm not a big racer, but like I am. So I play arcade racers. I don't play the realistic ones. So
Okay.
So this is more up my alley, but yeah. So we'll see how it is. I'll probably try it this weekend.
Sweet. Did you play the beta?
No, I did not.
Okay. All right. This will be your first jump into it. Cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hop right in.
It does look really good. That's for sure.
It looks. I mean, even
those
played at
rain
7.
shaders.
We played at
Oh.
720p on a 720p TV on an Xbox One, and it still looked great. So I'm really excited to play it at 4K on my computer. But until the spring, I'm looking forward to playing it next week or something. Dave, what are you playing this week?
Played some Armor last night. I'm working through the Hearts of Stone DLC for The Witcher 3, which is all kinds of glorious. Like, I don't understand how they can match a game as good as The Witcher 3 so quickly after it, but they did. And it's on sale already, too. It's like $1.50 off, I think. It just came out like a few weeks ago. So now instead of a measly $10 for 15 hours of entertainment, you can pay like $8.50. You miser.
All right. James, what are you playing?
I am playing Netflix catch up this week. I've caught up on 2 different Arrow and Flash. Now I'm going to finish Walking Dead. I did play Rocket League for the first time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
I think, did you score a goal?
Yeah, I scored a few goals.
After you left.
Oh, okay. All
No,
right,
I
cool.
scored while I was there. Come on, give me a break.
I know. I saw him hit it more than once.
Yay.
James was begging for like another round after every one. Just more? One more, guys?
One of us?
See?
All right, Joel, what about you?
I've been playing Witcher 3, working on the Hearts of Stone as well. And surprisingly, I'm somehow slightly ahead of Dave in the main story.
Because it's me playing an RPG, Joel.
I know.
I could have given you a 3-week head start.
Although you've done every other quest in the main game as well, so which I haven't.
Oh, don't remind me the amount of quests in Velen. It makes me sad.
Have you done them all?
Me?
Yeah,
No,
I have
Dave has.
one notice. I have one notice board to check. But the last 2 notice boards in Velen that I went to, like, oh sweet, I have a quest left. I would check it, and it's like no quest there, just like notes, and then it just clears the icon. And I was like, no, I trusted you.
I plan on 100%ing the game, so I'm looking at definitely 250 hours like you if I want to do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
I told Dave, like, it's funny. I think Gwent, the game, definitely helped me enjoy the game more. It really did But now that Dave and I play Gwent almost every day at work, the game is so easy. It's like, noobs.
You fake computer
Dave,
people, I own you.
Dave made me laugh so hard yesterday because I
Oh,
forget
yes.
what did I say, Dave? But then you dropped this bombshell and I just
Okay, so-
died.
We were playing Gwent at lunch in front of everyone, no shame. It's like the third day in a row we were playing Gwent, and Joel put a card down. And he looks at me, he goes, "Man, I wonder like where we are. Like if there was like a worldwide leaderboard where we are in Gwent." I just look over my cards. I'm like, Joel, how many other people practice 5 days a week? He just lost. He's like, you're right.
Oh no! I was like, wait, that means Dave's like, we're easily top 25 in the world. I was like,
top 10.
At
I was
real
like-
life Gwent with bootleg Etsy cards, yeah, there's not a big market there.
I just died. I was like, yeah, you're right. And I was like, I feel so awesome. Wait, this is the nerdiest thing ever. So, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I've been playing Witcher, and I've been playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I just got that, and obviously lots of Rocket League every chance I get. But I love it. It is buggy as a cricket that's having a seizure.
You're just trying to head me
but
off
the game
before I
is
start
so
talking about
much
it.
freaking fun. It's for me. I played every single game except for Unity, and it's my second favorite game of all of them.
And I think that's why you might be enjoying this one a lot more, because if you've played Unity, Syndicate's very familiar. I was telling you earlier, I'll be brief here, but it's obvious that the engine they went to for Unity could not, like the current consoles cannot handle it. It has beautiful lighting. The shaders are awesome. Like it's doing some really fancy tech stuff, but it's running at 900p at 30 FPS with drops. These shadow maps are very low resolution. They're flickering shadows everywhere there are shadows. There are no shadows that are just there. They're all flickering. And the aliasing is pretty bad. And the whole game kind of looks soft because it's a lower resolution. And I guess they can't sharpen it much more without making the aliasing look even worse. So on a technical level, it's really frustrating because Black Flag, which is my favorite Assassin's Creed, now Joel and I disagree on, like, he likes the fighting in Syndicate more. I like Black Flag's fighting more. It's really just a preference. But on a technical level, Black Flag was 1080p, very smooth, no shadow weirdness, like no aliasing weirdness. Like it was a pretty mature engine at that point. And I kind of wish they'd stuck with it because I think Syndicate could be, it's a good game. it could be a much more polished game. Because like the game itself, the story appears to be good.
I mean, it could be so much. I wish they had another 6 months.
The mission design is so good. Like there's so many things that are good about it that I wish they just stuck with the older engine. Because Black Flag looked good. Like it was a good looking game. There was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't the most cutting edge thing out there, but it looked fine. And more importantly, it ran really well. So
on the technical notes, Joel was actually live streaming some footage of the train for me because I'm really excited about having a home base on the train. And Joel, like it was a little stuttery, but I laughed so hard you couldn't hear me because you were streaming to Twitch and I was just watching on my phone. But you were like walking down the steam engine and like kind of like doing like a slow pan of like the city as the train was going down the tracks, and it started a little bit, and then all of a sudden all the particles for the steam, the whistle, the smoke from the fire, all the particles just stopped rendering. Like all of them just deleted, and like all the big smoke cloud from the train was just gone. And like you like walked back to the cab, all of a sudden they just like popped into existence again and started puffing smoke. Like the train just kept chugging along with no particle effects for like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
It's got a lot of work, but I think from going from Black Flag.
Like I'm on the wrong podcast.
Why, Joel?
Son of a bitch!
Joel, mark the time.
Oh,
Mark the time.
get ready.
Us all.
So anyway, I'll talk now. No, like there's a lot of good stuff going on with Syndicate, but it feels like Joel said, if they just had another like 6 months, it could have been a much better game because it's obvious so many corners were cut to get the game working, even in the level it's at. And there's a lot of roughness to it. Like there's a lot of stuff that just does not work like it should. So the story's good. Hopefully by the time the PC version releases, they said they're delaying the PC version because they know the PC community will not accept a broken version like Unity last year. What they mean is they're scared people won't buy it. So good job, people. Keep voting with your wallets. And they say that the PC version will work when it comes out. So if it does, I might get it.
I forgot a few games I played this week.
Okay.
I did play a little bit of Metal Gear. Thanks, Jeremiah.
How do you like it?
I actually really like the intro.
How far? The intro. Okay. Yeah. The intro is great.
I just got to the part where I'm about to start exploring and stuff, so it
Okay.
might all fall apart at this point.
No, you got about another 2 hours before you realize this is it.
Have you gotten much further, Jeremiah?
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a sec.
Okay, because I told Dave, I was like, I'm gonna come back to Metal Gear Solid. Like I've already busted out like 10 hours of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I've enjoyed them. I think mostly because of the story, but I'm like, Witcher 3 is really fun right now. Rocket League's really fun right now. Assassin's Creed really fun right now. I'll see Metal Gear when there's nothing else left to do right now. But right now, no.
Whoa.
I also played Deadpool. That was actually a lot of fun.
Really?
It was just mindless, but if you know anything about Deadpool, the writing is very comical. So it was just kind of a hop in and I'd have a good time.
Sweet. I've been playing. I've played some more Metal Gear. I'm probably like 21 hours in now. Still not interesting.
Are you gonna beat it?
At some point, probably, because I love the Metal Gear franchise. So, like, I feel like I have to. But I'm trying to put it in context how little I'm enjoying this game. Let me see. Can I put it against other games? I'm enjoying this less than the Hardline beta.
Are you enjoying this less than playing Bloodborne?
No, because Bloodborne had really fun parts and then just mind-numbingly difficult parts.
Yeah.
That I felt something when I played Bloodborne.
Let's not get much better because I'm honestly I'm in line with you for Metal Gear. Like I wish the game was a linear game, not F the open world thing right now because it's just like. All right, I'll play 60 random little go get this guy, go get that. And it's freaking easy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
After playing Assassin's Creed and I've played all of them, like I'm pretty good at the game now. Like I kind of know how it is. I just play it for the story and it's easy. Like I enjoy it. But I got to tell players, I'm like, oh crap, I kind of have to hide a few of these guys and actually be sneaky. Like usually I can just run in and I'm so good at the game I don't have to worry about sneaking. But Metal Gear, it's like, oh no, they spotted me. Psh, all right, I'll blow it, kill every one of you with my pistol.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they spotted me. Then it goes into reflex mode, and I'm like, dead. Yep. Thanks, guys. And then you just move on. Like it because it doesn't know what it wants to be. It's not a pure stealth game because it lets you do action stuff because they started going that direction with Metal Gear Solid 4, and I really liked it in 4 because you could play it as a fun action game because it was linear. But it's an open world game You're kind of supposed to play it as stealth, but they let you do whatever you want, which means as soon as the going gets tough, yeah, you just whip out the grenade launcher and just start laying waste because there's no penalty. You can just kill everybody. You can walk straight up to people and shoot them in the face. As long as they can't raise the alarm, you can S rank everything. Like, it just, and the story, like every 5 or 6 missions, they throw in maybe a 10-minute cutscene. So they're inching the story along, but if you're not listening to the cassette tapes, which they never tell you to do, if you're not listening to cassette tapes, you're missing significant chunks of the actual story. Not backstory, the story you are missing significant chunks of. And so it's not a great stealth game. It's a pretty rough action game. It's a pretty empty open world game. The world's pretty boring. Like, I don't understand the hundreds and the 10 out of 10s this game is getting. If you really, really liked Peace Walker, this is basically Peace Walker on the PS4. But Peace Walker was a great, PSP game. Like, I don't think it really is translated that well.
Because I think it works well for tiny mobile little, like, here's a little mission, do it.
Right.
Mobile, I think that works.
But this feels so empty.
Like, I don't know. Like, I was like, oh, I want more cinematics. Like, I usually like in the games, like, okay, that was a 45-minute cinematic. That was great. I'm ready to play again. This one, I'm like, I'm ready for another 45-minute cinematic because it's cooler than playing the game right now.
I want to start a new segment called Joel's Before and After Reviews. Because I feel like when games come out, you give them the most glowing reviews possible. Like, you sing every praise, and then like a month later, you're like, it was never really that good.
I give impressions. I'm not giving an official review. If I had an official review, I would play the whole thing and then do it. But initial impressions, yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
Your impressions are, man, this is seriously one of the best games I've ever played.
I didn't play that. I didn't say that for Metal Gear Solid. I say that games that actually are really good that I've played every. I'm not taking it back.
No, Joel gets excited, like, on the surface level.
I get very excited.
He gets excited by games. Yeah, he's very optimistic about games.
Me and Dave were very optimistic about games. You, Jeremiah, and James, you guys are very negative about games.
Well, that's one perspective. I'm also playing Hearts of Stone, just like most everybody else. Really enjoying it so far. I've gone through, I've decided, okay, I beat The Witcher 3, like the last 15 hours. I just need to play the story because I like the story so much. Now that I'm done with the main story, it's time to settle in for the long haul here. Ooh. So I've gotten mastercrafted feline armor for everything, and I like it, but I'm like, that's pretty good. I'm going to go for bear armor next because I think I looked up pictures of how it looks and it looks better. So I'm going to go for bear armor. But I'm doing ridiculous damage right now. I've got my build pretty much the way I want it, and I'm just grinding quests now. So I'm doing like 1 Hearts of Stone quest, 2 other quests. Like, I don't want to rush through it. So I'm enjoying that, and I'm playing Forza 6 and trying to put off buying a wheel as long as possible. Just because. But I'm probably going to be getting a wheel after we move sometime. But yep, really enjoying that. So that's the show, guys. Next week, Dave, who do we have on the podcast next week?
Next week, we're going to have a member of Campfire Games talking about War of Rights, an upcoming Civil War first-person shooter on CryEngine that's currently being kickstarted. So we've got some questions for them. We're going to hear all about their game.
How many of your boxes does this check, Dave? Civil War, CryEngine, first-person shooter.
Realism, authenticity, Southeast U.S., mountains, graphics.
Yeah.
Oh, I was showing Joel too. They sent out a teaser image. If you buy I think it's $150, but like the collector's physical edition, it's got your usual stuff you'd expect, your steel box. What else is it? Like some posters, a mouse pad, like all usual gamer Kickstarter stuff. But then they include like an actual Civil War relic mini ball, like an actual from the battlefield relic, a few other relics, and then your physical collector's edition is shipped to you in period correct packaging, like wax paper, twine, all that stuff. It looks awesome.
If we don't talk about our Civil War expertise from our time in South Carolina, I will be very upset. So don't forget that. Write that down in the notes.
You mean that time we went to the War of Northern Aggression reenactment? And I ate deep fried chocolate dipped cheesecake on a stick and had a spiritual experience with food? It was a good day.
You could call it a spiritual experience. I don't think that's what it was.
Sexual experience, whatever. All right.
The
so
noises were sexual.
To be a part of the show, write into casualshenanigans@gmail.com, or you can tweet at casualshenaniga, and we're on YouTube. Casual Shenanigans. And we're on a website, casualshenanigans.com. And we're on Facebook, same name. You've probably figured this out by now. Dave and I also have personal YouTube channels, Germ Gaming and Evil Viking 13. So if you like Total War, if you like the Potato Masher, if you like stuff like that, go check it out. And thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone who supports us on Patreon, who rates the show on iTunes, everything like that. The show has been growing pretty nicely. Like, it dropped a little bit when we got our own YouTube channel because we had to move so many people over from me and Dave's channels. But it is climbing again now. So thank you, everybody. It's really cool. It's really fun, and we all enjoy it. So thanks for coming out. And until next time, stay casual.